Alter ego? Is this some stupid virus from that stupid guy? Must have planted it when he invaded my network. Damn it all to hell, I don't believe this. It seems you finally made a miscalculation. No, you miscalculated from the very beginning.
What the heck?
What was that?
In other words,
What I'm saying is, you shouldn't have underestimated us. So why did Alter Ego save me and not Kyoko? Whatever. I guess it was all a dream. Barely felt a thing. It was a pinch, an itch. Stupid virus is gone now, got it? So is Makoto. Maybe I didn't get to smash him flat, but you're never gonna see him again. To waste away in a garbage-strewn pit, in a way that's an even better special punishment. Still not enough, I'm still not satisfied. Still gonna bring despair to the rest of you. Bring despair to the entire world. What's the meaning of all this? Just what the hell is going on?
calm down.
It's okay, we're not the ones being trapped this time.
In other words,
Now it's the mastermind that's ensnared.
What did you say?
What are you talking about?
so
You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. Massive high school towers over all the other buildings in this bustling urban area. It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. Back at the beginning of the game, huh? Two things you need to attend this school. And to already be attending high school would be the very best of what you do. No ordinary student could enroll here. Standing there at the gate of the ultimate school, filled with the ultimate students, was me. What? Where am I? Woke up with my head resting on top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. Wouldn't be weird for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but what was I doing asleep here just now? It wasn't any classroom I'd ever been in before. What the heck is going on? Finally, I could finally feel my mind and body start to come back together again. And then, I was awake. Or was this just another dream? Dream inside a hopeless nightmare. No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. What an awful smell. I was in a vast dark cavern, with the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash was piled high all across the area. Ugh. Must be some kind of underground garbage pit. Heck of a situation to find myself in. That was just the beginning of my problems. So going to be stuck in there till I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen. Not after what my good friend went through to save me. I remember all too well what had happened. Alter Ego saved me. And he used up the last little bit of his strength to do it. So I can't give up now. For myself and for my friend. How do you know that was his last little bit of strength? With that, my pursuit of survival began. First up was to start looking for a way out of here. Well then, time to save. And, check the recording. Okay, well, I think the recording's alright. Gotta check on some shit. And, I should really, like, stop playing, but I kinda don't want to, you know? I want to find out what happens. Even though I've already recorded, like, fucking 6 hours of this game today. My voice is all shit, but whatever. It's fine. That's a rocket and a tank. Is that what we saw from, like, the opening cinematic? I wonder. I do wonder. An airplane? Over here. It's locked. Fucking great. Getting out of here isn't gonna be that easy. If I'm not getting out of here anytime soon. Decided to look around for some food. Plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. That was pointless too. Next I search for some water. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink and which ones are an all-around bad idea? Again, pointless. Feel like I'm blocked in on all sides. That's still not enough reason to give up because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was crawl into a ball and cry. Go to sleep. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left after not being able to eat or drink. Can't be sure, but I think at least a full day had to have passed. And all I did was sleep and sleep. It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign, not exactly. Crunch. What the? Strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. As I watched the pile of garbage jostled and formed an odd shape. Did something fall down over there? Something fell from up above. What could it have been? Did Kyoko drop a key in here? The master key? Carefully stretched my hand out toward whatever it was that had tumbled down here with me.
Just a second.
Giant piece of trash, rude. Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was.
It smells awful.
Kyoko?
Indeed.
Look like you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing here?
So...
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you. Glad to hear that, Kyoko. You've a bit of garbage in your hair. Gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash and then face me again.
Hey.
You could've just, dumped the key in the garbage, but I guess there's a chance I would've missed it. But you know me, I wouldn't miss that shit, I would've found it. Go ahead and eat it. We can talk once you're finished. Food. Snatched the bread and water she was holding out for me. In seconds, it was in my mouth and making its way toward my stomach. Whew, I really hit the spot. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going. So you still haven't given up then? Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at. Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at. But Kyoko, why'd you come to rescue me?
So...
To pay a debt, or no, to atone? Atone?
You...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. I mean, the first time I did, but then I took it back once I had a crazy dream sequence. So you knew that I knew.
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you. I abandoned you. Don't say that, you didn't abandon me. No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However...
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there was a reason that I had to survive, no matter the cost. Why did you have to survive?
It's true.
I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to survive
In other words...
is so that I can do what I came to the school to do. What? To kill the headmaster? Made up my mind, come to Hope's Peak Academy for one very important reason. So you have some reason for coming to Hope's Peak?
Indeed.
That's right, at least I did, once. Once? Till recently, I'd forgotten what it was. You forgot, but that's... Amnesia. Is it really true you lost your memory?
Makoto.
Do you remember Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at this school? The first thing? You're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted, and when I woke up, I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself, a disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point my memory was gone. At that time I'd forgotten. Couldn't remember why I'd come to the school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what would make you forget all that?
Hey.
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. You're saying you think you lost your memory because...
Indeed.
I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory. Why would they want to do that? Also, how would they do that? There's only one reason I can come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability. Somehow they would interfere with the mastermind's plans. So the mastermind just stole them from you?
However...
And it could also mean, somehow my memories may be connected to the mystery of the school and the mastermind. Which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. But if what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
Why is that?
If I did that and we all worked as one, the mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always the chance that the mastermind is actually one of us. What?
Correct.
Well, don't make too big of a deal of it. It's just a possibility. Since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? The mastermind, one of us. If she believed that, then of course, she couldn't trust anyone around her. In which case, it only makes sense that she would look into her missing memory by herself. If the mastermind is one of us, then I kind of suspect Hiro, actually. He's just been playing dumb the whole time. He's just like supremely stupid, and it's all an act.
However,
That's what I think. Anyway, that being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me. But why me? Because among everyone, you were least likely to be the mastermind. That was just intuition, but I see. Your intuition was right, though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind. I understand. I should understand everything.
My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here.
Unless I am the mastermind. Gah. Just like a dream I had before, but why did that just happen?
listen.
Are you okay? Yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right?
Hey,
Am I secretly the mastermind after all? Even now, I still trust you, you know? Just, I'm not used to relying on others.
correct.
I know I never asked you for help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just her personality. Yeah. Alright, just keep talking to her, I guess. Said you had a reason for doing all that investigating on your own? How'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So,
I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability. Let me guess, she's like the ultimate detective or something? Or the ultimate... I don't fucking know, man. What everyone should have known me for. The ultimate detective, I fucking called that shit. Alright. The ultimate detective.
correct.
And the reason I came to Hope's Peak Academy, there was someone I had to find here in the school. Had to find someone who?
So,
Well, it was the headmaster. Yeah-huh. Yeah-huh. Why did you want to find the headmaster? Because he's my father. What?
in other words,
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak. Kyoko's dad is Hope's Peak headmaster? Then that explains when Alter Ego told us how we thought the headmaster was involved. I'll find a way.
Huh?
no matter what,
So,
Yep. My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. Makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. That makes sense.
however,
But listen, Makoto. I want to make this perfectly clear so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said what I felt based on what I'd seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. Then what did you see in there?
so,
The room had been ransacked. The shelves were a mess, the desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there. You mean the mastermind, right?
it's true.
That was my assumption, yes, and to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I'd found. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. This is some kind of map?
Indeed.
It's a layout of the entirety of Hope's Peak Academy. Found it in the headmaster's room, along with Makuro's profile in that key. Map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time. I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that were true, that room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check.
Correct.
That's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So you went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there.
However,
But once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. What was it like, that part of the school? Hard to describe. All I can say is, the moment I saw it, I realized Whatever's going on in the school is more horrific than we ever imagined. What do you mean?
So...
Can't explain it. Need to see it for yourself. I'm sure you'll get your chance soon enough. Sounds like it must be important. And really ominous. Alright.
However...
Mm-hmm. Well, I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building. Has to do with Makuro Ikusabe, doesn't it?
However...
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi, so then who did kill her?
Anyway...
What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Makuro Ikusabe was to get me killed. Get you killed?
Indeed.
I stole that key and disappeared, and in retaliation, they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
Correct.
That was the point of the class trial. It was? The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. You mean because of the school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly.
In other words...
The mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. Mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules. Makes it sound like the mastermind themselves is somehow bound by the school regulations.
Hey.
There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Makuro Ikusabe. What's that? There was a point where Makuro may not have become the victim. There was a point where... Could have been you, Makoto. Oh yeah, Makuro was trying to kill me for some reason. I could have become the victim?
Indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Do you mean... During the night, I can hear them, you know? The footsteps of the god of death. What? I can hear the god of death as he moves. That ability naturally draws me into cases just like this. Oh, okay.
Anyway.
Which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms and I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell. I saw a white shadow across the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room.
Correct.
I ran into your room, and I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
However...
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to... Whoever the masked assailant was, they ended up dead.
Correct.
Their murder was disguised, and the dojo key wound up in my room. It was all to be the work of the mastermind in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. So all this mean that whoever killed Makuro is also the mastermind, right?
Indeed.
I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. That's really bad if true. It means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, but doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class trial to try and kill you because they couldn't interfere, right?
Correct.
You're right, that is a contradiction. And it's not just Makuro. They needed the class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. So what does it all mean?
In other words...
It means that the mastermind is the one who's been cornered. Huh?
Makoto.
Just a little more. A little more and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair. The other ultimate despair? There's no doubt that Makuro was the ultimate despair and that she's dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. It's not.
Indeed.
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event. You're talking about
That's right.
what happened a year ago, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy, whoever's responsible for that. And they're the ultimate despair?
It would seem...
That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. And there,
Indeed.
make no mistake, they're the root of all the evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair. That is our real enemy. Chapter 5. Not sure what the title, 100-Mile Dash, Pain of the Junk Food Junkie? What? 100-Mile Dash, Dream Island Rockin' Present, huh? Oh, I got an achievement. 5 alive. Achievement! Ugh, it's about all I can manage with how my voice is feeling right now. Group of people who caused a tragedy 1 year ago. Those same people put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. Most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the Mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed. But right now, we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after. Yeah, you're right. Huh. Eh. Do you still have that one thing? Secret tool?
Indeed.
Of course I do. And it can open any door in the school, right?
That's right.
That's right. And we should be able to use it on that door, right?